Hi YouTubers, it's another wet and rainy day here in the summer of Britain, and so it's a bit of a day off for me, so I have been stuck indoors, and I thought, I'll have a look at the news again this week because it's been pretty good, the old religious news. So what I thought I'd do is just go through a few of the points of what's been happening this week. Okay, first of all, something which has already been covered, in fact, and beat me to it a little bit. Victimless Criminal has done a nice little thing on this. The July the 7th bombers, one of the bombers, the family of, has decided to celebrate the martyrdom of the bomber. In all fairness, they're doing it in Pakistan. But anyway, have a look at Victimless Criminal, his site, and make your comments on that one there, so I won't go on to that. What I'm going to have a look at this week, though, is church backs women bishops. Yeah, I love this one. The good old Church of England, it's decided to allow women, help meet, as they're described in Genesis, women to actually become bishops. The horror! The horror! Well, you can imagine the terrible things that have been happening this week in religion. To say that women can actually, and this is the admission, can actually be as single-minded and as expert on the unknowable as men can. So they can actually become bishops. It's a bit of a shock. I mean, it's you can imagine the entire world is in turmoil over this, and it's obviously one of the most horrifying things that's ever happened to the Church of England, because they're actually saying they'll split. There's a load of bishops out there said, "Oh, this is going to cause a split." Can you imagine a split in Christian faith? Now that takes some thinking about, doesn't it? Now we've also had the Catholic, some leading Catholic has also stated that this could cause a split between the Catholics and Anglicans, and it's even said, and a wonderful little piece, that it could cause a bloodbath. A bloodbath! Can you imagine over women bishops? Yeah, bloodbath between Catholics and Protestants. Well, that's never heard of before, but it'd be great if it was just the bishops, wouldn't it? And then the cardinals. You could see them in their great big hats. And in fact, I feel it's a shame Monty Python don't make things anymore, because they would have a great little battle between the two with their great big pointy hats on, the arch hats, and in all their garbs. And you could have the two there with their stars bashing hell out of each other in a bloodbath. We want women in, we want women in anyway, so we won't go on too much about that. It's ridiculous. And the next thing, mind you, worse things have happened. I mean, let's face it, when Henry VIII, he had to marry his dead brother's wife, Catherine of Aragon, and decided the Pope wasn't going to let him divorce her because he didn't like her much. So he wanted to marry Anne Boleyn, of course. Yes, good old Anne Boleyn, there with the extra finger. And this is where the Anglicans split originally, just over a marriage. So it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. It's stupid, of course. And when Henry VIII did, of course, get Anne Boleyn, and became head of the church because he said so, he kept her for 3 years and then chopped her head off. Which seems an awful lot. That was more of a bloodbath, really. Anyway, won't go on about that. Rowan Williams said he would like to accommodate the traditionalists in this. Now, accommodate the traditionalists, right? So we're gonna go back to having slaves, perhaps. That was a traditional thing, or perhaps to building altars and killing goats. That's pretty traditional. Seem to have got rid of that one. However, what is traditionalist? And why can't women be as stupid as men? So it's got every right to be. So we'll move on. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but that's the way these things make me feel. I actually find them hilarious. I cannot see any point in them. Um, anyway, we'll go on to the next item in this week's news. Okay, we're going to have a few little doggy stories because they've been around a bit lately. A prison officer and his dog, they've been moved from one prison to another. It's a sniffer dog. It sniffs out drugs in jail, and it's been complained about by some, or at least one or some of the Muslim residents. And the dog's called Ali, which is a bit of a sort of well-known name in Muslim circuits. However, the one of the prisoners says, no, it's not called Ali, it's called Allah. And this was disrespectful. The name of the dog is disrespectful. And they had to take him and put him into another jail because he complained about the name of the dog. So there you go. Muslims are well-known dog haters, to be honest. They're apparently evil and nasty creatures. And I can't see why, really. I personally am a dog owner, and they're lovely. Yes, very nice. They can be trained to be nasty, but then so can people. We know that, don't we? Right. What else? It wasn't just that. There's been other dog things. Oh, there was a lovely one here. Police dogs could be forced to wear shoes in Muslims' home searches. Now, in all fairness, this story is a bit of a laugh. Because it wasn't actually suggested by Muslim people themselves, so I've got to say that. It was actually suggested as a guideline from the Association of Chief Police Officers. I think that's great. It shows that police officers really do have a sense of humour as well. A Muslim spokesman said he didn't think it would be necessary, so it's just a funny story, and we'll leave it at that, really. But while we're on the dog subject, there's been another lovely little classic, and I've already been beaten to this one by another video as well. Now, let me get the info on it. Well, there we go. Muslims outraged at police advert featuring cute puppy sitting in a policeman's hat. Right, well, it's not actually sitting in a policeman's hat, it's sitting next to a policeman's hat, but that's what they said in the feature. Now, what it's all about, basically, the Scottish Police Force wanted to promote a new number which you can call, which isn't 999, for less emergency type things. And so they thought they'd make these postcards and deliver them to all the local shops so they could give them out to people and etc. But of course, a lot of shopkeepers in Britain are Muslim, and they saw these adverts and were outraged because they contained the picture of a dog. I've got a dog picture here behind me. See? That's my lad. That's one of mine. Yeah, picture of a dog. Well, that must be frightening for them. You can imagine, can't you? These evil, nasty creatures. I don't know what they've got against dogs. It's so unfair to dogs, you know. Not just dogs, but animals like pigs and things. It's very unfair to them, you know. I don't suppose they really realise it, but anyway. This particular advert, which obviously you've probably seen the picture of now, I'll put it up. Okay, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Apparently the Scottish Police Force do have a religious advisor who will tell them when they're doing something wrong, but they honestly didn't spot this one. They couldn't see why. And to be honest, who could? Unless you're Muslim. So, whinging and moaning about the picture of a dog once again. It's ridiculous, but makes you wonder, doesn't it? Andrex and Dulux, I mean, they're next, aren't they? You're going to be boycotting their products. After all, that Andrex puppy, when it runs around with a loo roll, it does look a bit like a turban. So, you never know, do you? And finally, I'm half waffling, but this is all ad-lib, you know, it's all ad-lib. Finally, Miss Hawkins, 19, and this has nothing to do with religion, I just liked it. Okay, finally, Miss Hawkins, 19, a hotel receptionist at the Holiday Inn near Norwich Airport, thought that the phone was vibrating in her bra. She'd had it on all morning and it'd been vibrating. When she went to take it out, she pulled out a bat. Yes, they've been there all morning. She had a bat in her bra. Wonderful, isn't it? Having looked at the pictures of Miss Hawkins and her bra, I actually did start to feel a bit sorry for the bat. It must have been really trying to breathe. However, a great story, and I'm going to end it on that one. Speak to you soon. Peace.